Hi guys, it's Mr. Vandergriff, and I want to go over the 8 easy steps on how to do a scientific critical analysis. Just before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about the Science Department mission statement. There are 6 parts to our mission statement, and if you look down at the bottom, number 6, it says we want all students to have the opportunity to research and learn about current science and engineering endeavors. So, this is the 2 pages of the PDF that's on the Canvas page. You have access to this. There's live links on here. I will go over all these details in just a moment. But I wanted to show you just a couple things that I found in the news just in the last couple weeks that were incredibly interesting to me. They found a new crater on Mars, and they realized that a meteorite had crashed into the surface of Mars. And on top of crashing into the surface of Mars, it reveals these huge chunks of ice. And so that's really exciting for scientists and for humans to go there so that we know that there is water on Mars and how we can utilize that. Second, there's been a lot of talk about sharks in the news, and especially in San Diego. And this article right here says that great white sharks are now a tourist attraction at San Diego beaches. So from Torrey Pines, if you hike up there and you look down, just in the last couple weeks, they've cited 3 or 4 or 5. You can even see this picture right here of one that was taken just with a cell phone in a wave, and then one was stranded and died, was up on the beach. It was about an 8-footer right there with great whites. And then last, SpaceX Falcon Heavy, of course, is my favorite, is that we are going back to the moon really soon. And again, Elon Musk is really gearing up to try to get humans to Mars. And so what's really amazing about the Falcon Heavy, it hadn't been launched in 3 years, is, let me just take a look here. And so as it takes off, you can see here, it's got 2 booster rockets. You can see the 2 booster rockets right here.
Faster than the speed of sound.
So now it's going faster than the speed of sound. You can see a booster rocket here and here. But what's amazing is they can recover these booster rockets. So let's see, take a look. And they're so good at it now. So take a look here. As the booster rockets are coming down, falling to Earth, gravity's pulling them down. They fire retro rockets to slow them down. And when they first used to do this, it was quite a bit of failure, but over the last maybe 10 years of doing this, they've been getting better and better. Look at this. Each one of those rockets could be used anywhere from 50 to 100 times to be reused. Each one of those rockets that just landed is about $13 million that they're saving, instead of it just becoming another piece of space junk. So if you take a look here, let's zoom in, and I want to just talk about number 1. The first step here is in one sentence. You are going to summarize the author or the speaker, the scientist, the engineer, their purpose. Why did they make the video or do the talk, or why did they write the article? Besides, obviously, making money and communicating the results. What was their main purpose with that? Second, you are going to list 3 or more relevant, interesting, and unique facts. And if you're struggling to come up with at least 3, then you probably should pick another article or another video or another talk. It should be easy to find these interesting and relevant facts. And then after that, step 3, you're going to develop 3 or more questions that are raised by the article or the talk or the video that you have chosen. And let's go on to number 4. So number 4, you are going to identify which science discipline that the talk or the video falls underneath. So is it life science, or would it be like physical science? So like life science would be like the sharks. Physical science, or maybe like Earth and space, that would be SpaceX rocket, or that could even be engineering and technology. And then 5, you want to identify the SEPs, the science and engineering practices. And those are right here and here. There's 8 of them. So again, asking questions. That might be one. They're asking, like, why are more sharks showing up in San Diego when they weren't before? And so how many of these are they using, the scientists or engineers are using? And then if you take a look at step 6, identify any NGSS cross-cutting concepts in the article. So for instance, It could be maybe scale, proportion, and quantity, talking about that meteorite that hit Mars and how it's almost 500 feet across. So it's talking about scale. Or maybe patterns. There are patterns that we're seeing more sharks show up in San Diego. So that's a pattern. And then maybe what's cause and effect? What's the mechanism causing that? Is it warmer water? Are there more seals, more food? And then let me clear this and go to our last two steps here. And then number 7, probably one of the most important here. So if you could I'm going to put a star next to it. I'm going to put some brackets around it. But right here, how does the science information, how is it meaningful? How is it relevant to you? You must find it interesting. And how has it affected your thinking your attitude? Is it going to drive you to any change or action or change of behavior? Or how is this information related to the standards that we've been studying in class? And then again, lastly, how'd you find it? Why'd you find it interesting? Do you agree or disagree with the author? And please summarize this in minimum 8 to 10 sentences. So this is really important. If you picked an interesting article or a talk, this is going to be super cinch, easy to do. And then last would be your citation format. You just copy the URL of the video or the article or the talk, and then click right here on EasyBib, and then you're going to cut and paste that URL into the EasyBib underneath citations, and you're going to click on the MLA format, and then that will give you the correct format that you can copy down, or you can copy and paste into your Google Doc. So let's take a look here. So what I also want to show you is on the second page, I have provided many links for you. So Science and News, Science Daily, Science News here. You can use a TED Talk, all these different topics that you can put in the search bar, or NSNBC Health, CNN Health, and then there's a couple more I have right here. We've got CNN Student News that always has a science section in there. Those are really good. And then the Do Go News right here, or you even have the biotech section in the San Diego Union Tribune, New York Times science section, or the New York Times health section. So lastly, I just want to come back to our science mission statement. We want to give you the opportunity to research and learn about really cool stuff that's happening in science and engineering. So hopefully you found this helpful.